What is good, everybody, and welcome to the Monday Night Live. Y'all, you already know what it is, man. It's straight up Tennessee, baby. Your boy wrecking the building. And it's Kentucky Hate Week. We are their father. We are the father of the Kentucky Wildcats. We do not lose this game. This is not a game you lose. It don't matter where it's played. Kroger Field, Kroger Grocery Store. It don't matter. We win this football game. And we have a lot of ways that we should completely handle this game, but there are also some things that can happen in a football game like this. It's a rivalry game, high stakes really for just Tennessee. Like, we have to win this game. And I feel like, boys, we got to win this handily. We can't go in here cupcake walking around, frolicking around like, okay, yeah, we beat Kentucky by a touchdown. We can't go in there and do what Texas did. Now, our offense is 1,000 times better than Texas's, okay? Let's just call a spade a spade. But at the same time, Kentucky's hungry for a win. They're hungry for an SEC win. They haven't got one this year. What can Tennessee do to go into Kroger Field, to Lexington, to our Neyland North legit, and handle business? We have offensive, defensive scouts tonight. We got personnel scout. We got a lot of things to kind of get into because you already know, man, who is Kentucky? We're going to find out tonight on the Who is Kentucky show. You already know what it is, man. It's straight up Tennessee, baby. I got C2. I got Dylan with me. Let's get it popping on a Monday.
Tennessee's the program to keep an eye on. If you want to know which program that's not currently at the head table of college football, it's Tennessee.
Now Meshack's got to go. A fire! Fire! Wins it! Jamaal Meshack wins it! He needs a strike. Burton needs a bolt. Swing and a miss! And for the first time, Rocky Top reaches the mountaintop of college baseball.
My boys, what's happening, man? Happy Monday to you. Happy Monday to everybody tuning in tonight live on YouTube and Facebook. It's straight up Tennessee, baby. It is Kentucky Hate Week. Y'all know what to do, man. It's the top of the show. Like, comment, subscribe, and join the channel. Continuing to see the subscriber number grow. Continue to see the member number grow. You guys are feasting on this content, and that's what we're going to continue to do, is give you something to feast on or feast for. In straight up Tennessee, baby. Deal C2. Happy Monday, my brothers. We ain't really talked today. How we feeling? Have we recouped?
You asking the wrong two guys for that.
Nah, I'm ready to go, man.
See, here's the thing. I felt like Deal, because like Deal, the young one in the crew, okay? So Deal still got that like a little bit of like heavy emotion about something. Like, I felt like when I had my son, all of my like care for stuff like Tennessee losses is completely gone. Like, I care, but it's like I care for the 2 hours afterwards, and then the next day. That's why when I get on here and like we're talking, y'all all so mad at me because I'm like, man, let's just snap it clear. Let's get to the next thing. But y'all like, nah, we suck. We can't do this. We can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So like, I just be like, I'm on to the next thing. But dude, Deal, when I was 24, bro, I literally would be mad, bro, for like 6 days until we played again. Like, it would literally take me till we played again. People be like, what's wrong with you, bro? I'm like, man, we lost last week. And we lost the week before that. At this point, the week before that, like, we used to lose a lot more. So, like,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But Deal said he's still feeling bad. C2, you recoup? You feeling all right? I mean, or are we still kind of like, you know, I'm still worried.
I'm ready to go for Kentucky, man. Look, I'm on the same boat you are when it comes to how I feel about the SEC, Ruck. When you were talking about, there's some people out here that are like chanting SEC like it's their nation of birth at the Olympics.
So stupid.
There's a couple SEC teams that I can tolerate. I'm cool with like watching them do decent against other teams, but most of them I just hate. and
100%.
Kentucky is pretty close to top of my list. Because it's not just hatred, it's just a lack of respect too, because that they always try to talk trash every year. And I'm like, for what?
What are we
Y'all ain't
talking
been
about?
good at basketball for a minute, and that used to be the thing y'all could talk about.
Yes.
You're bad at that now.
Yes.
We know your academics aren't great. And I said, UTs aren't the best in the world either. That's why this game used to be played over a beer barrel. But, is what it is. You suck at football. You're not good at any of your other sports. Like, why are you talking? Go sit down somewhere.
It's really funny, dude, because I don't know if y'all's parents was like this growing up, but like, Tennessee would lose and, we would have like Alabama or somebody playing in like a big game, basketball, football, baseball. They're like, man, I'm cheering for the SEC. I'm like, I'm not. I'm not. I'm like, no. I'm not cheering for no Alabama. I don't care if it's SEC or not. Go anyone else. I don't care about none of them cats at all. Man, let's see what's popping in the chat, man. Ryan's in the chat said, what's up, fellas? Kentucky hate week. Let's regroup and get this dub. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Adrian in the chat says, what's good? Tim Bradley. What up, Tim? Says apathy, man. Apathy. Hey, Tim, listen, man. We had that session yesterday. According to Alabama fans, we were coping, but I guess they just don't understand that we've talked about this for literally 2 years now. So it's just becoming a part of our being. Instead of BVS, we just have apathy now. Marcellus Roberts, my boy Selly in the chat says, new week, let's get it. Yes, sir. Tim says, I'm not an SC fan. I'm a Tennessee. Thank you, Tim. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Ryan says, Kentucky playbooks looks like it was drawn with crayon in detention, bro. Go get this dub, fellas. We belt to AWS all game long. Yeah, we better be belt. I mean, this game, y'all, I went through, and we'll get into personnel. We'll get into scouts here later on. We'll dive into a lot of that stuff in the middle of the show. But like diving into this game, guys, like there are 0 good matchups. There are like 0 things to look for. Like it's weird because, in the last few years, Kentucky's at least had some position, right? Like last year, it was their corners versus our receivers, because Maxwell Harrison, obviously now he's in the league. Great corner. He was a great corner. They had some pieces, right? JJ Weaver, right? The 6th finger man, right? He was a dog, though. He couldn't cover at all, but he could definitely fill a gap, and he would fill holes, and he made a ton of tackles, right? This year, like, Kendrick Law completely ruined his career. Like, why did he transfer to Kentucky? Of all places, like, you know what I mean? And then like vice versa, like we can say Barryon Brown ruined his career going to LSU. Like they are so bad. Like I just Kentucky's in a really weird place. And like I feel like they are with Mark Stoops right now where they were with Coach Cal. Right? Like he's just kind of been there for so long. And you can take like you're taking losses and like bad seasons and like not standard seasons, I guess. Like Mark Stoops grew Kentucky to what it is today. It is like now they're not good right now, but like Kentucky had a lot of good years until they played us every single time. Literally, they would have great seasons, bro. We're coming into the Kentucky game 10-2, right? Like they're 10-2, or they're like not 10-2, they're 8-2 or 7-2, and then they play us, and the whole season's over. Like they just fall apart, but. This season, they just fell apart to begin. They got 2 wins. Toledo and who else?
Eastern Michigan, I think.
Like, brother, who? Yeah. So it's just really strange to not see their defense play. Well, their defense played well last week, but guys, like Texas is not the same team, bro.
No. Did their defense play well, or were they just playing Texas?
Arches.
Arch Manning threw for what, 32 yards?
Yeah, that was less than 150.
Bro, that is insane. He threw for 132 yards, and he was supposed to be the second coming of Jesus Christ himself.
Which is crazy because their defense and pass yards allowed per game is 108th in the nation.
And Arch could only put up 132 yards on them, bro. Like, that's bizarre. Like, I think this is a game, C2, where going back to what we kind of talked about yesterday, this is a game where you're going to have every play action read you want.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This is a game where you can go out there on offense and do whatever you want to do.
I mean, like, literally, I think if you pound the rock.
That was their offensive ranking for pass yards per game was 108th, which is great for us defensively.
Great for us.
Their pass yards allowed is still 83rd, so it's not like it's good.
Yeah, still not great
right now.
Well, we're still below them though, so we're worse. But doesn't that make you feel bad? Like, we're still
not
worse.
When I look at who they've played.
Let's see what the chat's going on. Ryan says Texas is trash. Joey's 10 times better. I mean, there's a lot of guys that are better than Arch right now. I mean, look around the country, dude. You can name 20 quarterbacks. Nico is better than Arch right now.
I mean, Cutter Boley had a better game than Arch last Saturday. So
it's just strange, man. Tim Bradley says Kentucky is pinning the majority of their NIL on basketball just to try to stay relevant. Mark Stoops has to make chicken salad out of chicken crap. Yeah, and he talked about that. I guess it was 2 years ago when we beat them in Kentucky. He talked about, like, we need more money. He said that, like, in a press conference after the game. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
And, like, the AD just completely was like, nah, bro. like this is what you got, bro. And it just kind of sucks. It sucks if you're a coach at Kentucky, because it is truly a basketball school.
Which is crazy, because I would say he's done more with what he's had in their football program than their coaches for the past. I'm not that into basketball, but I'd be willing to say probably like 5 years, probably longer, have done with basketball for the amount of money that's poured into it. Like, the amount of money their basketball program has is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. I mean, that's why they're, like, roster alone, Kentucky's going to always be a contender. Now, I think they actually got to do Mark Pope, like, Duke can coach. Like, he really can. And so now, even SEC basketball, y'all, like, everything is so even now. NIL has, like, literally, dude, y'all, like, in 6 days, Tennessee hosts Duke in TBA for an exhibition game. I will be there. I cannot wait. But the thing about the game is, it's like, that was never happening pre-NIL era. Never. That would never happen. But guess what? Here we are. It's a new era. You're getting these big exhibition games. 2 years ago when DK and then went up to Michigan State, and we got to see who Dalton Connect was going to be, right? Like, these new exhibition games that's the exciting portion of NIL, right? Like, getting the best players on the best stage. Yes, it doesn't count towards your record, but this is definitely like a measuring stick, I feel like, for how good both of these teams could be going into this basketball season. But I can't wait to start talking hoop, man. That's coming soon. And so, but boys, you get Kentucky this week. OU hosts Ole Miss this Saturday. I know the flex times came out earlier today, and so it said we're either going to be 3:30 ABC, 7 o'clock ESPN, or 7:30 ABC. You're 2-1 in where you want to be, right? Like, you're 2-1 as far as 2-1 in night game times versus what a midday time would be. Deal, I know earlier you said in the chat when we were talking together, if OU beats Ole Miss, it's a night game. But see, I feel like it's a night game either way. It's just, are we going to be prime time, or are we going to be on 7 o'clock? Because the 7:30 ESPN, that was a prime time slot last week for us in Alabama, right? So, I mean, I put it this way. We all know it's dark mode. Just give it to us at night, please.
For sure. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why play these games with us? Just give it to us at night.
I don't know what other games are next week. I don't know if there's anything really better matchup-wise.
That's what I'm looking at right now.
What is it, week 10? Golly, that's crazy.
Yeah,
man.
week 10.
Yeah.
You got Vandy in Texas.
Nope, not worth it. That's nope.
That's
gonna be a noon game.
I agree, it's not worth it, but
South Carolina, Ole Miss.
they like to
You
prop up Texas.
so you get South Carolina, Ole Miss, OU and us, right? Like
That's it.
that's it. Georgia, Florida. Like, that's always a big game, but that's already got a time. That's 3:30. We're getting a night game. We're getting a night game. Basically looking at that, like we getting a right game. Ryan, this is perfect. This is what C2 wants. Ryan says, I want to see Bishop get 20 carries, 175, and 2 tuds.
I mean, we could do it against this team, but we could also just go out there. This is the one game against the SEC opponent this year where if we go out and throw it 5 times in a row, I'm not going to be annoyed by it because they're just that bad across the field. Their best defensive ranking is in the pass TDs per game because they get beat a lot, but they're decent in the short passing game. So this is a game, to Ryan's point, where if we do set up the run, we're going to be hitting multiple like 60, 70-yard play action bombs for touchdowns because they get beat deep all the time.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying. I mean, like, this is a game where the play action is going to literally cook them. Like, quite literally. And if y'all want to be honest, it's going to be a home game for Tennessee. It's 2.5 hours away, dude. Like, it's up the street, bro. Take 75 north and you blink and you're there. So, Ryan in the chat says, ooh, he said Nico. Dang, Arch straight roasted. I am. Nico is playing better than Arch Manning, bro. He is. Like, Arch Manning is so, like, he a liability, bro. Ryan Gaynor says, OU gonna get Ole Miss, in my opinion. What y'all think about that game? We'll talk more about it on Wednesday, but just early, like, what do y'all think? I think that OU would have got them had Ole Miss not lost the way they lost to Georgia, for sure.
Maybe. That game's just weird to me because they're both teams that have their struggles, but they've both got good quarterbacks. So I'm not sure who's going to win that shootout, whether it be Mateer or Trinidad. But
Well, see, that's what's funny about OU to me, Deal. Like, I don't think the weapons around Mateer are good. Like, Deion Burks is good. But, like, they can't run the ball.
yeah, I mean, it's the same thing for Ole Miss, though, is the problem.
Yeah.
Ole Miss can run the ball decently. They're not great at it, but they're not awful.
But I do also think Ole Miss's receivers are better. That's just my opinion. I think they the separation and the speed. That's what I'm talking about. Like, but outside of Deion Burks, they don't really have a separator. I mean, Isaiah Satania, the kid from Arkansas, we saw him last year. I mean, like, he all right. I guess the thing with Oklahoma is just their defense, right? Like, it's R. Mason Thomas, a lot of those guys. But again, Billy Bowman is gone. He was their guy last year at safety. Here's the thing about OU. Their corners and safeties are the slowest. They are slow. I'm talking like slow. But that's been okay because their pass rush, their front seven has been so dominant. You know what I mean? And so, again, like, I don't know if any one of OU's games really have been quality wins. Like, do they have a quality win on their schedule right now?
You could argue Michigan, but they've pretty much fell apart since then. So
that's what I mean. It's that's what makes it kind of difficult. Tim says in the chat, will we see Joey Freshwater, aka Lane Kiffin, as the head coach in Gainesville?
No.
I think James Franklin has a better shot at being the coach than Lane Kiffin. What do y'all think?
I may be wrong. But I don't think Florida is willing to put themselves in a situation where they have Lane Kiffin and whoever their basketball coach is down there at the same time. Like, I feel like you're going to have to put warning signs up on campus if you're going to do that. And you're going to end up with some sanctions somewhere. Like, that's just asking for trouble.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
I will say that I hope that he's the last coach that they hire, because if you give Lane Kiffin and his ability to recruit not only high school but the portal, and you give him Florida's money, in that location, it's going to get dangerous down there in Gainesville. I don't want to see that at all.
No.
We don't need that. That is not what we need.
I think it'll be good for us, and more than any game Oklahoma has played this year, though, back to the Oklahoma Ole Miss. More than any game Oklahoma has played this year, I think this game against Ole Miss is where we should be pulling a lot of our information from for their game against us the following week.
I agree.
If
I
Ole
agree.
Miss can go out there and establish some things offensively, either running or passing, either way, because Oklahoma's good on both, given the teams they've played. But that's where we got to pull information from, because they've not really played anyone else that's anywhere close to us as far as like a similar style.
Right. Ryan in the chat says, but the Florida job is a job you just can't turn down, in my opinion. The recruiting, NIL, Florida could be the end spot. Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's why I'm saying, like, I think they're going to be really careful with this. I felt like the Billy Napier hire was just weird. It didn't make sense.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't, to me, he's not a Florida guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think they're going to take their time with this. They're not going to make a hire till the end of the year, I don't think. I think they're going to see what happens in the coaching carousel and then start to poach at the end of the season, right? They'll start to kind of poach some guys to see, hey, would you come down here? One name that nobody was talking about that I think would up and leave in a heartbeat, because it's just the type of personality he has. Lincoln Riley.
Not coming to the SEC.
See, I thought you were going to say Bobby Petrino.
Yeah.
They won't hire
That's also
Petrino.
the personality he has.
Very true. Very true. Lincoln left the SEC, right, because he knew what was coming. But I think that if money talks, and that type of recruiting is a million times better than what he can get out in USC. That's a cross-country move, though, for sure.
Hot seat at USC, though. They do not like him over there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying that. Ryan said, I thought you were going to say Eli Drinkwitz. Bro, Drink is, I don't know, bro. Missouri's, I don't like Missouri at all. I think they're just they don't play, like, they got the easiest schedule. It's way easier than ours even. Like, it's just.
Do you think that there is any chance that Florida would go knocking at Golish's door with what he's been doing at USF this season?
They'd be dumb not to.
They beat him. Here's where I'm at with that. Maybe. But I feel like that's Golis's first head coaching job. Like, to jump from USF to Florida, hey, you're one of them ones if you do that. And if he does that, I'm gonna be sick, because he gonna beat Heupel, bro. He is going to beat us.
Yeah.
I mean, he is going to beat us,
Dude,
bro.
That playbook and Florida speed,
bro. That talent,
Especially if we don't make any changes on like defensive staff and like players we got out there in the secondary, like safeties specifically,
bro.
we'd get roasted at home too.
Anywhere we play, we can play in my backyard, cooked. 30 piece. It'll look a lot like it looked like when Dan Mullen was there, when we was getting killed by Dan Mullen. Getting clapped. The offensive performance is looking amazing. So y'all, it's Kentucky week, man, and we don't have a lot to talk about because they suck, and Tennessee needs to win the game. But y'all know how we do. We still dig through this scout, we dig through the roster, and we try to find bright spots. So let's talk about it, man. Kentucky's at a weird spot right now. 2-4. Kentucky started this season with quarterback Zach Calzada. If y'all don't remember, Zach Calzada came in from Texas A&M. He had a lot of starting experiences there at A&M. He wasn't very successful. Injuries plagued him there, and injuries have plagued him here at Kentucky already. Got hurt early in the year, wasn't playing well anyways. Mark Stoops goes with Cutter Boley. And he has continued to go with Cutter Boley and be the starter now at the quarterback position. The running back position is a kind of weird to me. Seth McGowan is kind of their go-to guy right now. I think he has a little over 200 yards rushing on the season. Kentucky has not been able to really do anything well, and that's the hard part about this team. Defensively, they have some bright spots, but we talked about Kendrick Law earlier. Law is a 6 foot, 205 pound senior receiver who was having a great career at Alabama and decides to leave when DeBoer gets hired. And I don't know why. I know why. He wasn't necessarily, where does he would be wide receiver 5 at Alabama right now, to be honest, based off of the talent they have. But he's a guy that can get back in the back end. He can make you pay with his speed. But again, he's not got somebody who can get him the football right now. Defensively, they have some linebackers that are actually really good. Alex Afari Jr., he's our senior guy. He was a preseason All-SEC mention. I think it was the 3rd or 4th team. So not high, but he still was a preseason SEC mention. He's a great guy for run fits. Again, in the pass game, whatever you want to do, you can eat them alive, especially in their linebacker room. So only 47% of Kentucky's 2024 team returned. So only 40 players from last year are on the team this year. They added 7 transfers, Elijah Brown in the tight end, Ashton Cozart, Rob Folger, Seth McGowan was a transfer, and they have a couple more. There's a lot of talent on the roster. It's an SEC roster, okay? There is talent on their roster, but there's no cohesion. They're all literally just out there, and there's no familiarity with each other. It looks like there's no depth, and it looks like Tennessee can literally game plan to do whatever they want, like we've been talking about. Offensively, Ashton Cozart, he was at SMU, and then I think he also was at Oregon for a while. He's another receiver that can make you pay, but again, there's nothing to make you pay for because the quarterback position has not been good for Kentucky. They do have some pieces in special teams that we do need to be careful with. Their punter can get you deep. Special teams, field goals, they've kicked a ton of them, so they better be really, really good at it. But I think it's a bigger picture thing for Tennessee. You can't let this game be a field goal game, because we know where we stand with us. And then you also can't let this be a field position game, because they can get us in bad situations to start drives, very much like Alabama did when we got that safety drive. And so we can't have any of those things happen. Just a couple of things that I have that I think Tennessee needs to focus on this week. Get after the quarterback early. You didn't do that well against Bama. You got after him, but we could not get home. You get home once and you get the strip sack, which was awesome, but that still didn't count as a sack. It was just a strip. You got to get home early to blow this game out of the water. I think you still need to have Colton Hood on Kendrick Law. He's the only guy that can kill you in a game like this, and I think you got to have your best guy on him. Number 3 is attack everybody on their defense. It don't matter if you're running the ball, throwing the ball, attack them, because they don't they're going to play on their heels all night. They're going to try to keep everything. That's all Stoops has done against Tennessee, play underneath, and they still somehow get burnt when they're trying to play underneath against us. That never makes sense. We definitely got to win field position. We didn't win the field position battle against Alabama, and it hurt us. It hurt us in every single position. It hurt us every single way. And then we need to get back into turning the ball over continually. Not us turning the ball over, but forcing those turnovers. Last week we got a good turnover, and we didn't get enough of them. We gave the ball away more than we got it. We got to get that football this week, and I think Tennessee will be good. So it's weird. It's kind of weird to talk about them because they haven't been this bad, y'all, in a while. This is a bad team. This is a really bad football team. Let's see. Going into the chat, and then we'll go into your small scout that you got. Adrian says Tennessee has got to win by 40. I'm not going to go 40. I would just like to, 2 touchdowns is amazing to me. I think we're going to score as much as we want to. But defensively, y'all, we got to stop somebody. You know what I mean? Like no team has
That's the main
scored
thing.
no team has scored less than 24 points on us.
That's
And
gotta
that was
change.
an FCS school. Like
Mhm.
basically. You know what I mean? Like we got to be better. But hey, UAB beat Memphis. So that's kind of sad. Alpha Man, what's up, Alpha Man? Do people remember what it was like before Heupel? Yeah, we remember. It sucked. But now we also remember what he did in 2022, and we're not seeing some of those things anymore. And so, you know, being real, like, man, we just want to get back to not being like, it feels like we just being safe now again offensively. And not all the time. Like, we will attack you, but I'm talking about situationally, bro. Like the creativeness is gone a little. Like, you know, you're seeing some things, you know, like the Mike Matthews reverse against Arkansas. Like that was cool. But like, we're not seeing like the hide Jalen Hyatt behind the tackle and run a wheel route because you don't know he's there. You're not seeing the fake quarterback power deep ball to Javonte Payton. You're not seeing I mean, I guess I can't say this, but you're not really seeing Princeton Fant line up at running back. But I mean, I was gonna say, you know, you got Miles Kisselman, but that boy ran like a 7.140. So I don't know, man. That's just kind of how I feel. What's y'all's thoughts
On this game or on that comment?
on the comment?
I get where people are coming from when they're saying that. And I know none of like our mentality towards the team doesn't really matter. We're all fans. Like we're all hanging out here, like just chatting, cutting it up. But like, yeah, I'm happy we're no longer in the 20 years of just hell that we went through, just
Yeah,
being
it was
awful.
miserable. It was miserable, bro.
Yeah. But at the same time, like I want us to take that next step and become an elite program. Right now, we are, I would say, on the very, very high end of good. Sometimes we reach up into like the mid level of great.
Mm-hmm.
But we are not an elite program right now. And I just want to see us take that next step. And I don't think anyone on this show has ever or necessarily would ever right now suggest getting rid of Heupel. But I think there are some things Heupel needs to do better, mostly in who he picks as his other coaches helping him out.
We talked about it yesterday, bro. Like, we
Yeah.
just say it like Heupel's gonna have to fire some friends, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. But we got like, in order for us to be elite, that's what we're gonna have to do, bro. And it's not gonna be comfortable for Heupel. It's not. But sometimes, you know, Deal, what did we talk about? The two best positions on our team as far as recruiting and just what they've been able to produce in 2025 and really last year, too, have been two outside hires in William Inge and Darrell Sims. Your running backs and your linebackers coach. They were not here when Heupel was hired. They were outside hires. And what are you seeing? You are seeing development and production.
And you can say that, oh, well, Jeremiah Tulaner's still out there. Well, he wasn't an Inge recruit. He was a Brian John Murray recruit, and I can tell y'all, he did not know what he was doing. So
No.
that's just that. But as far as going back to 2022 and all that stuff, you know what I missed the most about that year?
What was that?
I missed feeling like this week. Like every week we were playing Kentucky.
Yeah, like, dude, you never thought we were gonna lose.
No, I was so confident that year, and I got that little bit of taste in my mouth. And then we go into 23 and 24, and it's just like, no, we're just stagnant now. But
It's weird too, because it's like you're not. I don't feel like we're regressing, but we're not playing. We're not playing any better. But we're not playing any worse. Like, I think the issue is that now we got the talent. So the talent is showing up, but the coaching in positions isn't getting any better. So like, it's just, it's hard, dude. It's really, really hard to figure this out because it's just strange, man. It's really strange.
Yeah. My old backers coach had a saying that only dead fish go with the flow. So if you're staying stagnant and you're not getting better, you're getting worse by default. So you got to do something we can't be a 9-3, 10-2 team every year.
I think So I think offensively, right? Like we've been good offensively really every year, except for, last year we didn't. And I know Nico's looked better with UCLA, but not better passing, really. Like his passing numbers still haven't been good.
Yeah, they're
Um,
terrible.
but he can run, and he's got an offensive coordinator now that's like using that instead of expecting him to throw. Um, what's frustrating is like offensively we're always good or great, but then defensively, other than last year where we had a blip of like really good defense for almost the entire season, defense has just been pretty bad in certain areas, and it seems to be the same area every year. Like how many years in a row have we talked about how bad our secondary is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of my biggest issues last year because, yes, on paper, we look like one of the best defenses in the country. But if you take away the line, what do we really have? Exactly. We got Jermod, but
Yeah.
what good is he when he's the only guy back there covering people?
Yeah.
So,
It-
you
it's
know,
it's not good enough. It's not good
yeah,
enough. Uh Deals, kind of talk a little bit about Kentucky, man. Just talk about them, kind of what they
yeah.
do, kind of what they like to do, just so we can get a clue of what Tennessee is going to be able to do this weekend.
Yeah, this is a little bit rushed. I was running around all day today, but I mean, I was able to dig up a little bit of film from the Texas game, but I am not going to put y'all through that because that was one of the worst games I've ever seen in my life. But as far as Kentucky on offense, we already know what they are. They want to run the ball, they want to control the clock, they want to throw the ball underneath. It's just clock control, super conservative. It's Mark Stoops football. But
Mhm.
McGowan, their starting running back, he's getting 5 yards a pop. Kendrick Law is their go-to. He's got 199 yards on the year, and it is week 8, week 9,
It's not
whatever it
good.
may be.
It's not great.
Yeah, it's not pretty, but like I said, super conservative. Cutter Boley, he's got a 65% completion percentage. I mean, he's decent, but really his average depth of target isn't really over like 5 yards. So take that with a grain of salt. He did go 31 of 39 against Texas, and Texas does have a pretty stout secondary. But at the same time, it's Texas, and they played like we play on the road. So, but all in all, they give up or they score 22 and a half points per game. That's 133rd nationally, or
God.
103rd nationally, excuse me. But I mean, you go back to Alabama last Saturday, and we only technically gave up 28 points defensively.
Yeah.
So if we swapped out the rosters, I mean, we should still be able to beat Kentucky as far as defense is concerned, no matter how bad we are. But that's just how bad they are on offense, y'all. It is not pretty. Jumping in their defense, they run a little bit of multiples. It's a 3-4 or a 4-3. They hybrid them. Sometimes they do both. Sometimes they'll do one for a lot of the games. Sometimes they'll do the other. But I mean, it's basically the same concepts. They just want to run gap control. They want to blitz you aggressively, and they want to play man coverage. We can play with that all night long on offense. Joey should have a day. Deshaun should have a day. Whoever it may be. They did pressure Arch a good bit, but anybody that watched the ending of the Texas Florida game knows that Arch has a very, 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 very bad habit of holding the ball. So I'm not really putting too much stock into that. But they do hold people to 25.8 points per game. And they're good at limiting the explosive plays, but at the same time you look at who they've played, and they're not very explosive offensive teams like Texas and Toledo and all these other teams. I mean, even Ole Miss, you could really say they did hold Trinidad to a lesser game, but it still wasn't all that impressive. 3 of their top 5 tackles are actually DBs.
Mm. That
Yeah,
tells you a lot. It tells you a lot.
a lot. So we ought to be able to run the ball here. And just one last note: their leading sack leader is a linebacker. His last name is Souls. He's a Powell kid. We ought to take that. That ought to be a little bit of fuel for us. He should be locked down all game long. But as far as keys, we got to leverage our speed, play up tempo. I don't know why we've been getting away from that. Play up tempo, and that goes for receivers too. We're faster than them. Send Braylon on the go, a fade, whatever it may be. We got to pressure Boley. He's got 4 interceptions and 4 touchdowns on the year. He has not been great. He's been sacked 14 times, and you can tell after a sack he gets a little nervous. He does not play well after he's taking sacks. And then we got to sustain drives. We got to win the third down battle. I know
Big
Tim
time.
Banks. I know Tim Banks is going to give up a lot of third downs, even against Kentucky probably. But we got to win the third down battle, and sustain these drives. And then my last real key is just to play clean. We can't let them hang around. If we keep getting a false start on offense and getting backed up, we can't do that. Not in this game. But if we do all that, I mean, I'm expecting us to score by 20 or win by 20 at least.
Yeah, discipline for us is huge on this one, bro. Go on the road and let's just be penalty free. Like, I'm fine with PI, like I'm fine with stupid. Like, I'm not okay with offsides. I'm not okay with false starts. I'm not okay with illegal man downfield. I'm not okay with snapping frag. I'm not okay with any of those things.
Right.
But if it's something in play, I'm cool with it. Like, but if it's pre-snap, dude, come on, y'all. We gotta be better, man. It's simple. C2, you got anything, bro, on a Monday about Kentucky you want to dive into?
So my by the numbers this week, we'll be diving into Tennessee in the Heupel era at home versus on the road. But I think this really is a game that lines up well for us defensively to actually have a good game. And I mean across the board, have a good game. Their pass production, average ranking, I went through pass yards, I went through touchdowns per game, I went through their passing accuracy, all of it. It's 113th in the nation on passing production when you average out those scores. If we can't get something together in coverage for this team, every game from here on out is probably going to be a shootout other than New Mexico. Like, we've got to figure out something on defense against this team. This is the team you figure that out against. And rush, their running is better. In part, they do it more often, but they're still 73rd across all of their rushing stats on offense. So there's no reason we shouldn't be able to stop them running the ball or throwing the ball on defense, especially with our line being as good as it is. If we can get pressure, unlike last week, I don't think this is a game you need to blitz a ton. I think you send 4, sometimes 5 to mix it up. But most of the time, I think we should be able to get pressure with 4. That wasn't going to happen against Alabama. We needed to send 1 or 2 extra guys. And then defensively, their stats are a little misleading on defense because their rushing defense is probably their best as far as like the yards they allow per game. It's 55th in the nation, but the best rushing team they've played as far as like stats across the year goes was Toledo. In SEC play, though, playing against Georgia, they gave up 180 rushing yards to Georgia. They gave up 195 rushing yards to South Carolina, and they gave up 216 rushing yards to Ole Miss. So we can for sure run the ball on them. And then as long as we don't try and dink and dunk, because that is what, if they are good at anything, the one thing I will say this Kentucky defense or team really is good at outside of special teams, they've got a couple corners on the outside that can cover really well short. Because like you were saying, they're really slow, but they're good at coverage until you start stretching the field, until you start getting some speed going downfield, because their safeties may be worse than ours. So if we can get the deep ball going, it's lights out. I don't think we need to win by 40. I mean, Georgia won by 21 against them.
Right.
So if we're in that 20 to 25, I think it's a great game. But for me, as long as we win by 14, I'll take it on the road.
I just want to win, but I do want it to be in style. So Tith Alta says play calling was so good there for a while. I'm assuming this is taking it back to the Alabama or even just over the season. He says, but it seems like the last couple of games, it's been so inconsistent to go along with the rest of the team being inconsistent. Yeah, you can't really call things when we can't even get a snap off. Like,
Yeah.
I was talking to Turner about that earlier. He was like, dude, have you noticed that it's every time we try to get tempo going on the road right now? When we try to get the tempo going, that's when we have false starts. And that's when we have snap infractions and lining up off the ball when we should be covered up, right? Like it's when it's just small things like that. But dude, they kill our drives, bro. We can't afford to lose 5 if it wasn't our fault. What I mean is, like, you can't lose 5 yards when the ball's not even snapped. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, and that's what we've been doing, and we've been paying for it, bro. We have been paying for it. So early in the week, y'all, everybody in the chat, go ahead and drop it, man. Go ahead and drop your early in the week score predictions. I know everybody's saying 10, 15, 20, 25 points. Let's kind of go around early. Let's see like what we feeling like. How do you think, C2, this game shapes out?
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about my score prediction, so I'm gonna do it just a second.
Go ahead then, Deal.
On a Monday, just throwing something against the wall, I could see something like a 42-24. I don't think it's going to be pretty for us to start the game. I think we're going to have some issues. Yeah. I don't know if we're going to come out with any attitude to start this game, and then somebody's going to click, and then it's going to be like, oh, okay, this is Kentucky again. We can do whatever we want to do. But for some reason on the road, we just have that lull, and I think that we start the game like that, but I think that we figure it out pretty soon, and then we get back to doing what we do.
Yeah, I don't think this is a game. Tennessee, even if they look like they're struggling, I don't feel like it's a game where we feel like we lose any control.
Right.
I got Tennessee 38-13. I think we play well enough to hold them to 13 points.
I'm gonna say it's a 41-23 type game for us. We've not held people below 20. Maybe it happens this game, but until it happens, I'm not going to call for it.
I feel that. I wouldn't either. I just feeling froggy.
There you go.
I'm feeling froggy. Oh, yeah. Okay. Tith says 45-17 Tennessee wins. Ian Pickett says 41-20. I like 41-20 as well. I can see something like that. 45-17 makes me feel warm and bubbly inside. So I'd really like to see that. Just if you are a betting person, just pick us to cover because it should happen 100%. There should, and I mean, it's weird because you can almost smash the over in every Tennessee game, but it's weird because you just never know with what the other team's going to do or how many points we're going to give up. So that's why the over has been weird this year for Tennessee, the under specifically. So, well, boys, man, let's wrap this thing up, man. I'm just ready for the midweek chat. It's Kentucky week. Go win, y'all. Go win, please. Like, it's that simple. So, we'll be back though, y'all, on Wednesday for the midweek chat. We'll kind of dive in more to some of the midweek interviews. Any major updates? Obviously, the Tony Vitello saga is still going on. However, he was seen at the Tennessee scrimmage today on campus, and so it seems as if things are trending up. I don't know what Danny White's going to have to do to keep him, but he's going to have to do something if he's going to stick around. I know he just got an extension, but he might have to get an extension to his extension. But we shall see what that looks like. So we'll keep you always updated, man, right here on Straight Up Tennessee, man. Tith said, let's go start a break job. I don't want to do, but I have. Oh, dang, bro. You got to go work that now? Boy, sounds terrible. But y'all, man, we'll be back Wednesday for the midi. Boys, y'all got anything?
We're going.
Let's get it. All right, man. For my guy C2 and my boy Dylan, you already know, man. It's Straight Up Tennessee, baby. We'll see you live right here, same place, same time, Wednesday for the midweek chat, Kentucky week.